Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Prophecy of Pendor. Now, when we left off, we had just left the amazing Order Stronghold that we renamed, and I've actually renamed it a couple of times since because I was trying to find a better name than what I had given it previously, because obviously that was just on the fly. So, we're going to obviously see that at a later point, but for now, we have happened across a Noldor House of Ithilrandir scouts fighting Lord Leonius, and the most amusing thing about this is that I was just about to engage. Now, I know what you're thinking. What were you about to engage? Well, I was about to engage every single Empire vassal that was right outside this castle. Nameless Castle X is what we will call it, because I've actually forgotten the name literally just moments ago. Fantastic, isn't it? Yes, but yes, there were a couple of people surrounding it, and they were attempting to besiege it, of course, and these Noldor units came out of nowhere, decided they would intercept me, and actually attack Lord Leonius first, and as a result of that, we now only have Lord Leonius in the battle. Otherwise, we would be fighting over 500 units right now, and we may be in with a chance of being defeated. But right now, we are actually in a very good position. So let us charge in and see what actually transpires here. Of course, having Noldor units is going to make a huge difference. And there's actually 49 of them on the battlefield, so we're going to see an absolutely amazing display of tactical efficiency and, shall we say, deadly accuracy as well, because these Noldor are just going to destroy everything that comes within range, and their range is almost limitless. So that's pretty amazing in my opinion. So let's have a look. 59 enemy units on the battlefield. They do not have the power of tea and biscuits behind them. I'm actually unsure whether the Noldor enjoy a biscuit or two, but yes, it's unlikely, isn't it? It's quite unlikely, although maybe they do, because they're elves, so maybe they would appreciate something like that. Well, who knows? But I actually do know one thing, and that is that Bertild will survive every single battle in this episode today. That is an oath that I am making to myself, no one else, because I obviously am going to most likely break it, but yes. We're probably gonna... Let's just see what happens. But I'm going to bet to myself that I am not going to get taken out. And to do that, I'm going to run to the edge of the map, all the way at the back. No. I'm not going to be some boring old fool at the back of the map waiting for my units to win. I'm actually going to be running in there just as usual. But we are going to be a little more tactical with our use of our... units and... of ourselves, of course. We really don't want to be running in there too readily, but we want to be making sure that we don't just dive in. And, well, obviously we can dive in right now because, well, we have all of our cavalry alongside us, but yes, we need to make sure that we're not taking on too much that we can chew, of course. We really don't want to take on more than that. We want to make sure that everything is going to be hunky-dory, as they say. And, well, it seems to be pretty hunky-dory right now. Yes, as you see, there's only 15 enemies remaining, and that will be a victory for the Tea Time Troublemakers, and indeed the Noldor house, which is actually pretty amusing to have them run in there. It was literally split second. It was a split second difference between us fighting 500 or 150 units with no backup whatsoever. Of course, we'd have no backup in the 500, but that was actually pretty cool, I gotta say. Now, the main reason why I'm deciding to fight them here is because we are losing units still. Because we are having morale difficulties, and because we are not particular... Oh, okay, there's actually 15 remaining. I think I'm just gonna tell my units just to run in there. There we go. That's pretty nice. Alright, so after that rather successful bout, we have, of course, helped the Noldor. Yeah, it's not particularly helping them. They probably would have been able to do it nevertheless. And I guess we are now going to be letting this guy go. We do want to get more honor, and getting some more relation with him cannot hurt. So let's let him go. Thank you. Okay, so we can capture a couple of enemies here. It's really not going to make too much difference, is it? I am going to be selling this guy in just a second. I did want to keep him off the battlefield for as long as I could, but obviously that is sometimes not the case, and you just have to roll with it. But as you can see, this is what was happening here. I was just about to head in versus Lord Leonius, and of course Agathon and Lord Cassian, as well as Lord Gallus, would also join the party. But these guys stepped in before I could, so that's actually pretty nice of them, I gotta say. So let's actually see what they decide to do. They're running in there against that guy, so let's go and help him as well. This is rather amusing, isn't it? I'm using the Noldor to defend my lands, and that is exactly why you want to get them on your side so early, so they can actually do this. Now, we're against Lord Gallus. Isn't that amazing? We're against Lord Gallus, and that's it. Agathon is nowhere to be seen. We have a really, really nice opportunity here, and that is, of course, to thin out the vassals of the Empire. They are not worthy of our biscuit and tea regime. So, let us try our very best to move them down here, at least, and, well, try and get them in position before they charge at us with their rather sizable cavalry force. They do have quite a few of them, maybe about 15 to 20, so that's kind of impressive. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not particularly impressed, because we are just going to slaughter them where they stand. Oh yes, let's do this. Let's see what we're able to do. Ooh, that was a nice hit. Look at that, 370 damage. Yes, 370 damage to his horse. Yeah, I know, it's just a horse, but still. That was pretty impressive, I gotta say, and maybe we'll be able to do that at some point to someone else, maybe if we get a little bit more power strike or something, but really, I don't think we need anything more than that, because who has 370 HP? I don't think any unit in the game has 370 HP. Is that correct? Maybe. Maybe there's a unique spawn or something that has that. I'm sure there is actually a unique spawn that has that, but I can't remember what its name is. I think it's a very, very unique spawn, and, well, it takes many, many units to kill it. And I think it's one of those unique ones. I think it's really, really... You have to do something quite special to be able to summon it or something along those lines. So, yes, thankfully enough, we don't have to deal with it right now, because, well, I would not be able to tackle it. Probably sure that I would not even be able to tackle it if I had all of my vassals there, because I seem to think that it has over 600 HP or something along those lines. Maybe it's a different mod that I'm thinking of, but Pendor would definitely be the one to actually have something like that in it, so maybe I'm thinking of the right one, I don't know. But for now, only one enemy remains, and there it is. Oh yes, very nice victory indeed, and another 16 morale, and a little bit more relation with the Noldor as well. And of course we can now let this guy go too. There we are. Fantastic. Okay, so now let's talk to our legatus friend who is within our grasp here. And we're going to be letting him go. Hello there. Yes. Okay, so there's 4,200. Really not that good, and I wouldn't really want to let him go for such a measly sum. But I feel like it's worth it just because I don't really want him to escape for nothing. So I feel like getting some money out of it is better than nothing. So, there we go. That seems fine to me. Now, let's see what actually happens here. Oh my, that's amusing. That is really quite amusing, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, so we just used the Noldor to defeat Agathon Legatus. Or at least, I hope we are going to. We are going to see our Iron Circle Centurion enemies popping up very, very soon indeed. Now, I do have to be very careful about them, of course, because I actually have not seen them before. If I have, then, well, it probably ended up me being taken out by some random arrow to the head, or maybe a lance to the face, because that is what we do, isn't it? Yes, we take lances to the face, and indeed bolts to the brain. So that's pretty bad, isn't it? But hopefully, wait a minute. Are these the Iron Circle Centurions? I don't seem to think that... Oh, they are! Wow. Okay, so they're the Iron Circle Centurions. They are, of course, running into us at a, wow, very, very great speed. I'm actually quite surprised that they are looking relatively normal. Of course, I don't know what I expected. They are basically just Empire troops, so I don't really have anything against them, of course. And we are... well, we're using a rather hard sword against them, aren't we? So I don't really think we will be in with much of a chance of losing this. But we do need to protect our Noldor friends a little bit better, I would say. Because right now they are being taken out pretty heavily. And, well, that's never a good sign, is it? To lose so many Noldor. Of course, there are more Noldor allies than we have on the battlefield, so losing a couple of Noldor doesn't particularly matter. Of course, they are just patrols as well. We only have 15 cavalry on the battlefield itself anyway, and yeah, they have a huge amount of Iron Circle Centurions. Not happy with them, because they have better stats than Shadow Legion, and they are, of course, better geared, and yes, that's exactly what I mean. They are, just in general, very, very good. And, well, I know I made that oath earlier, but, I mean, what oath? I made no oath whatsoever, did I? Yes, of course. Of course I did make an oath not to die in this particular episode, but, well, I personally don't feel that makes any difference, because I swore it to myself, and do you mind myself? No, I don't mind at all myself. No, it's absolutely fine. I realize that getting taken out in a game is not particularly a big deal. Ah, yes. Oh, that's absolutely fine myself. Thank you very much. Ah, see, it's absolutely fine. He didn't mind at all. Did he? Did he mind? I actually don't know. Ooh, I'm gonna see later. It depends what kind of thing he puts in my tea, whether he makes it exactly the way I like it, or maybe he's gonna do something to it. Maybe he's gonna put a note on it that says, "I'm disappointed in you," or something along those lines. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. We will see what transpires. Ooh, maybe he's going to break the biscuits in the tin or in the packet or whatever, and they're gonna all be crumbs by the time I get to it, and then he's gonna be like, yeah, now that's how it felt. That's how it felt when you broke your oath to me, and then he's gonna break down in tears. But no, I think it's perfectly fine, no problem at all. But let's just take a look here. How are we doing? Well, we've lost 18 of our own units, but 3 of them have been killed. Of course, the Noldor are losing a lot more because they technically are fielding more, but in general, we actually don't seem to be doing too badly, and yeah, many of the Iron Circle Centurions are actually being eliminated as we speak, so I don't think it's that big a deal, is it? I mean, we are eliminating one of the most powerful vassals that the Empire has at their disposal, and I gotta say that that's actually pretty good. So, not bad at all if I say so myself, and yeah, that's actually not bad. So, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens here. We're gonna be, obviously, just eliminating the last 2 units, and then we're gonna see whether Agathon wants to continue this fight. I'm pretty sure the Noldor are going to lock him into this quite a lot, aren't they? Yes, most likely. So, there we go. 113 enemy units remaining. Well, I suppose that's not too good, is it? But, okay. That shouldn't be too bad. We have a couple more units than we had previously. At least our own units. So, let's get our archers into a nice position here. Of course, our cavalry and various other units. Our 2 infantry, in actual fact, are going to be here as well. I'm going to move our TM Biscuit Savior all the way back there, just in case we actually have one of those. I actually don't think we do, but apparently they're just going to be charging in anyway, so I'm going to be attempting to take these guys out as best I can. Whoa, they are actually just going straight for the throat, aren't they? Oh my. Okay, so let's just deal some damage to them. They are so heavily armored that our Ruby Rune Sword is actually having difficulties eliminating them in one hit. So I suppose there is one unit that has to stand up to the might of the Ruby Rune Sword, of course, and well, I guess saying that, I haven't really hit these guys straight on. Like this. Yeah, no, they just get their shield out immediately, and it's making things very, very difficult. In actual fact, ooh, I was really close to hitting that guy. Somewhat saying, oh, yes, somewhat saying that has made it very, very difficult to actually eliminate any of them. Hello there, I'm going to stop you so that my archers can kill you. Maybe. Yes? Archers? Go? Yes? No? Okay, apparently their armor is just good enough to survive Noldor assaults, as well as Ruby Rune Sword swings. Well, that's pretty impressive, I have to say. Okay, well, we're going to charge our archers in because don't particularly need to sort them out any further, and of course we are very much out of range of the respawning enemy units. So we're hopefully going to be okay to move them just a little bit ahead here. I do not want to die again, so let's hopefully prevent that from happening by being a little bit sneaky with our movements here. Okay, maybe I'll actually be able to take out a couple more units as well. Maybe, maybe no, maybe yes. So right now, it's not seeming to be very good. Ooh, 304 damage. against an Empire light infantry. I did say that I was going to try and get higher damage dealt, but obviously against a horse, that's actually pretty easy, but against a person, it's a lot more difficult. I actually wonder, did I hit him on his head or something? Because those light infantry really don't have the best armor, so maybe, yeah, maybe that was the case. I don't know, but that was pretty cool. Anyway. Well, yes, I think that's actually one of the highest amounts of damage that I've ever done. I do know I've done 450 damage to a horse at one point, and I've also taken 23 damage from a Fierdsvain armored axeman as well. Yeah, that's not the highest damage I've ever taken. I think I've taken 89. 89 damage has been the highest damage that I've ever taken, I think. Maybe more, I'm unsure, but actually, I'm going to ask you guys, how much damage have you dealt, and how much damage have you taken? Of course, we are just trying to deal as much damage as possible, so yeah, we'll just see. But I'm actually wondering, do bows deal more damage than melee weapons? I don't think so somehow, because of course you do have the speed bonus. The speed bonus is obviously something to take into account, and I am not counting couched lances here. I'm not going to be counting couched lances because, well, you're able to get easily above 450, maybe even 500 with a couched lance. So I'm basically counting swinging weapons, thrusting weapons, and blunt weapons, of course. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool thing. Now wait a minute, I think we're all done here. Yes, look at that. That's actually very nice. So, wow, this guy really likes us. We are going to let him go because it's Agathon. How can we say no to Agathon joining our kingdom at some point? Maybe he will. Wouldn't it be amazing? He could theoretically be one of the best vassals we can ever acquire. So let's just see whether that happens. Otherwise, I'm just going to be taking as many enemies prisoner as I can. And we have no space. Of course, we have no space whatsoever. So there it is. We've disabled all of the Empire vassals that were in the area, and they now have a little bit of time to get their units back up and running. Of course, Lord Cassian is still available, unfortunately enough, so it's kind of unfortunate, but well, what can you do? So, yes, we're going to be heading to Wolven Castle, but that we will do that in the next episode, and as you can see, this is our new name, a Buttery Biscuit Bulwark. Oh, yes. Exactly. It's all bees for the bear tilts, of course. Haha. Isn't that amazing? So yes, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.